What were some of your goals? And then since you've been here, what have you been focused on to improve on next year?
Well, during my time being out, I had surgery in January, and I had to do rehab, during that time. So I wasn't gonna be able to do the spring. So I was just working on my own and just doing rehab throughout the day. And my goal for the team is to be more vocal as a leader. Coming in my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't play that much, and I wasn't being vocal. So my goal is to be more vocal and being more involved with my
And
team.
What was that injury?
Sports hernia.
Sports hernia.
Okay.
And Rakeem, Coach had mentioned that he wanted you to get better to improve your draft status as a pass blocker and as a receiver. How has that been coming along, and what are some of the things that you've done to improve in that area?
Really this summer, really like over this little, virus, I just like in Houston, I go to like wide receiver workouts, stuff like that, and just catch the ball with them. And then pass blocking, I just been trying to get stronger, really, you know what I mean, in the weight room. So just getting big upper body.
Thanks, guys.
Tom?
Hey, guys, this question's for both of you. What insight can you give us into what the strength and conditioning and the agility stuff you guys are going through, what it's like, who's rising up as leaders, and just what the spirit of those workouts are like?
I can say for me, everybody been working at Teloff, and we've been listening to Coach Walker and everything, listening, going by him, and everybody been working out Teloff. The guys that emerged to me was Greg Brooks and Jerry Jacobs. Those guys have been stepping up lately, into leadership roles and improving their role.
Yeah, Rakeem, if you could address that as well, please.
Okay. Really just a lot of guys coming together, you know what I mean? Just a lot of teams not working out during this time, and we one of the teams that's, believing we're going to have a season and we're going to get it on. There's a ton of guys been stepping up. John Stephen Jones, D.D. Edwards, Simeon Blair. Guys like that just been, at it every day steady, you know what I mean? So, those guys, I look at those guys push me to go harder, so.
Okay, and my final question is also for both of you. You guys are both in an age group that's young and healthy and vibrant. How difficult has COVID been for you guys at staying away from people, social distancing? How well have you done it?
We done it very well. We listen to Coach Pittman and what he has to say, social distance every day, making sure we have our mask on and staying away from a large group of people. It spreads quickly. So we just following what Coach Pittman says.
Yeah, and keeping your hands clean and your mask on, really just, being clean. So, like the workouts, we wear a mask in there. 6 feet apart. We get it in, you know what I mean?
Thanks, guys.
See, Nikki?
Hey, Montaric, how do you feel about what your role is going to be? You mentioned Greg Brooks and Jerry Jacobs. Where do you see yourself fitting? Do you think you'll hold down that spot at corner like last season?
Of course, that's always my mindset. My mindset is to dominate and handle my position. Making sure I do what I have to do. So yeah.
And Rakeem, just how do you feel physically? How do you feel like you did achieving the goals that you set for yourself when you were back at home?
Say that again.
How do you feel physically, and how do you feel like you achieved the goals that you set for yourself when you were back home?
I feel, honestly, this is probably the best I've ever felt. You know what I mean? This is, honestly, this Corona time is good for me. You know what I mean? Because I never had really an off season to really work out and stuff like that. So I've been having time really to just work on my body and get myself healthy for the season because it's my last one.
Thanks, y'all.
Bob?
Hey, am I unmuted this time?
We hear you, Bob, loud and clear.
Must have been better at this. Hey, Rakeem, I was thinking about this. I know you didn't play at A&M, but you were there with the staff. You had a JUCO staff. This is your
Mhm.
second Arkansas staff. So 4 staffs in 5 years, but you seem like you're rolling with the punches pretty well. What's that been like, and how do you think that's helped mature you? Just what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I thought about that actually the other day. I mean, it helps out a lot because I mean, I've learned a lot from Sumlin. I've learned a lot from just Coach Brown. I mean, Pittman, he's already been here, even Chad Morris, you know what I mean? Just from that standpoint. I mean, I've learned a lot in every single category. So it's been a struggle, but it's also been a blessing on top of it because, you know, you learn from what each coach got to offer and what he's about. You know what I mean?
And for Montaric, you've obviously played a lot of great running backs in the SEC. I know you don't tackle Rakeem in practice, at least I hope you don't do anything to hurt him. But what do you think about him? Where does he fit in the group of running backs in this conference? What kind of season are you expecting from Rakeem?
I mean, I'm expecting an incredible season. You know, Rakeem the best running back in the conference to me, so I'm expecting great things for him.
Well, what about his game impresses you?
His speed. You know, Rakeem is fast. A lot of people don't really think Rakeem's that fast, but Rakeem's very fast, and it'll surprise you and sneak up on you.
I think he's fast. So anyway, but thanks, guys.
Yeah.
First day back, Bob. You and Rakeem, we're going to line it up, 40 yards.
Yeah.
Just give me
Sarah, Mike?
just give me a 10-minute head start.
You might win that one.
Mike?
This is for both of you guys. A couple of weeks ago, these stories started breaking on ESPN and other places about, 22 players at Clemson tested positive. I think there was almost a third of LSU's teams at one team they said was quarantined because they'd been out to these bars on some Dixon Street type place in Baton Rouge. Did you guys know about all that, and did it have an impact on you, kind of sobering thing where you go, whoa, we got to be careful?
I mean, not really, because I've talked to a couple of players, I mean, like at Alabama, because Waddle's from Houston, you know what I mean? So I've talked to players like that. I mean, they're not at the school, but I mean, I think it's just, I don't know. I think that's just crazy. It's that many people has the coronavirus, you know what I mean? Something's not right because, I mean, obviously we're doing something right over here,
It kind of surprised me, we just follow what Coach Pittman says, We you really see it on social media, so we kind of knew about it already. So we just adjusted to that and did what they wasn't doing, following the rules, making sure we doing what we supposed to do.
And this is kind of a version of the same question, which is there are people that basically say you can't, no matter what you say to a 20-year-old football player, you can't really get through to them that they got to just stay in their room. They've got to stay away from people, that it's unrealistic to expect that. So no matter what you interact with Coach Pittman and what he says, there's going to come that time when he's not around and you're making a decision. So how hard is it on each of you to really live up to these kind of guidelines and self-police yourself?
It's not hard at all. I mean, like Coach Pittman said, if you want a season, then you're going to abide by those rules and follow those rules. So, I mean, if you want to have a season, so we follow the rules,
And I mean, also, if you want to live, you know what I mean, for your own good, you know what I mean? So that would help out a lot, just staying inside. And I mean, I done got into games now. I done bought a whole Xbox, so it's a lot different.
And then I just had a quick one for Rakeem. When you were back home, you were working out with Justin Allen. How did you two meet, and exactly how did that time help get you ready for voluntary workouts and stuff?
Really? So I've been knowing Justin Allen for a long time, you know what I mean? Like even before A&M. And we've just been in contact through social media. And, one day we finally met because I think he was best friends with a guy that was on Last Year Until a long time ago, one of those guys. So, and then ever since I got back in Houston, I've just been training with him and working on different stuff every day. And so I know I needed to get in shape. So I was like, okay, let me come back in shape and be ready. So.
It's good. Thank you.
Nate?
Yeah, Montaric, as far as last year's defense, I mean, your two most terrible players were Rakeem and Scooter. and they're gone. How are you going to be a better defense without those guys and people replacing them?
Well, we got a lot of freshmen coming in. Thanks to Coach Pittman and his staff for recruiting a great class. We got freshmen in that got a chance to play early. We got they get a chance to play in those big roles. So I'm ready to see those freshmen come out.
And Rakeem, the question I have for you is the offensive line that Sam talked about. Do you really notice a difference in their size and anybody in particular? You mentioned Cunningham. Anybody else that stood out as far as the offensive line?
Those, like I say, those are my guys up front. So I've been here for 2 years. I mean, it switches every year. This year, this is probably the best they've ever looked and look in shape, and they've communicated. We got workouts. The whole group's together, game plan. You know what I mean? So as a running back, when you see something like that, you're like, you can't do nothing but smile because you know what's gonna happen during the season. So those guys are in shape. I'm very proud of them. That's probably the most impressive group right now.
Any one individual stood out to you at all of that line?
Myron, I say them and the O-line. The O-line and the DBs have been, hard-working groups.
Thanks.
Ty?
Yeah, guys, just looking back in this past couple seasons, when you look ahead to this year, why are you guys confident in the first year under Sam Pittman and in 2020 that you guys can get this thing going back on track?
As
for both guys.
As you look at Coach Pittman's record, it speaks for itself. Coming off 2-10 season, a lot of people don't expect a lot from us. So we coming in with the mentality that we got a chip on our shoulder and we ready to dominate every game.
And he was at Georgia, so he knows what winning's like. You know what I mean? So that's why I came back. I trusted in him, and I trusted in the guys on the team already that we could be. Because a guy like me, I know what we got on the team, and obviously some outsiders don't know what we have, but people gonna see Pittman's the guy.
And Rakeem, with you, with Kendall as the new offensive coordinator, have you talked to any Baylor or Florida Atlantic or Houston running backs about how he used them in his system?
No, not really. But I've talked to Cam Akins a long time ago and just really see how Kendall Browse is. But I've known him in high school, so I've communicated with him a couple of times, and his offense is it's a real high tempo offense. So you got to be in shape to run it. So that's also a great guy, and Jeff Traylor knows him too. So he talks well about him. So Kendall is a great guy.
Rashad?
This is for both guys. What's been the motivation through this pandemic and then this offseason for you guys to keep moving forward and get ready for this season?
To get over on every other team, basically. You know what I mean? Because, obviously the teams you see right now are not together. In Arkansas, we're together. We basically got our whole team here right now. And we're all training. So that's motivating us to win. You know what I mean? Obviously, we haven't been winning. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're going to need everybody.
Like Rakeem said, everybody's not working out. So we just trying to be here every day. Workouts are voluntary, but we treat it like it's mandatory. So we're here every day, and we're just trying to get the edge on everybody else.
And then also for you, Rakeem, you just mentioned Jeff Traylor just a little bit ago. How much do you and he interact, and what's it like now with him down at obviously San Antonio, UTSA, and you're here in Fayetteville?
Oh, man, it's, like I told him I was going to come see him, but I talked to him probably twice a month, I think. So it's good talks every time we talk. You know what I mean? So
We got 5-6 minutes left here. Trey Biddy, got a couple more, you said?
Yeah, I got a couple more. This is for both guys real quick. a lot of times when there's a coaching change, the new coach that comes in, the AD will look for somebody that's drastically different than the last coach. And I was wondering if there's anything that Sam Pittman brings to the table that that stands out as different, whether it's culturally or the way he communicates with you guys, or maybe something that was missing before that he's brought in. I was wondering if you guys could comment on that.
Yeah, honestly, Pittman's obviously, as everyone knows, he's a straight up dude. He's gonna give it to you like it is. So I mean, coming in, I knew he was a real dude. You know, not most coaches gonna give it to you, you know, straight on the plate. They're gonna sugarcoat everything. But Pittman's gonna set you straight. He's gonna tell you, and you're gonna get it done. And if you don't, you're gonna have consequences. You know what I mean? Kind of old school type of coach. So I really like it.
Yeah, Coach Pittman is a straight up guy. Like during the coaching change, you know, when we was looking for a coach and we found out Coach Pittman was gonna be our coach, it wasn't no mind of me transferring. You know, I knew I was gonna stay because Coach Pittman is a great guy and he was here previously. So Coach Pittman is a great guy and he's straight up.
And Montaric, I was wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit about how the secondary is looking. Like, who's working at nickel? Is Greg Brooks still going to be a nickel? Is Jalen Catalon going to be free safety? You know, who's working behind you? That kind of stuff. And you guys just work out, or any depth chart that you might have in your head.
So far, I don't know the depth chart, but I can say we got guys that will step up. You know, like Nick Turner, Jerry Jacobs. You know, Malik Chavis, Ladarius Bishop. You know, but I don't really know the depth chart right now. But look out for those guys. Those guys working hard too.
Is anybody specifically working at nickel or expected to be there? Maybe.
Greg Brooks, Jerry Jacobs. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Kyle.
Yes, sir. Tom, you want to wrap us up here? A couple questions. You're on mute, Tom.
I do have one more question. Guys, there's a lot of social change in the air, and Sam Pittman went down to the protest in Fayetteville. And I just wonder what you guys think of how he stands in terms of being with you guys and just what he's meant to you guys in that manner.
You can say that again.
Coach Pittman's stance, you know, there's a lot of political and social stuff going on, and just how he went down to that march and just what he stands for, you know, what you think of him in that regard.
Honestly, as a head coach, I wouldn't know what to do, but I thought he was probably one of the best coaches that handled it well. He you know what I mean? He represented his team well, you know what I mean, during that time. So during the time, I was very proud of Pittman. You know what I mean? He reached out to a couple of players, and you know what I mean? So that you know, that's big.
Yeah, like he just handled the situation well, for what I think, you know.
I have a question.
I'm done. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Kyle.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate y'all. We've got to get Rakeem and Buster to a team meeting. So good to see everybody.